Sorry for the lack of uploads last week and also this week as well. This is probably going to be a one video week as well. I really wasn't very well last week and I'm behind on my filming for the Christmas content, so I'm trying to cram everything in. Anyway, I just needed to take a little bit of time out and spend a few days just sleeping, which seemed to be all I did. Anyway, we're going to be doing a full face of number 7 today. I did promise that in my previous video. If enough of you said you wanted it, and blimey, the response was real, so yeah, let's get straight on with it. Because I knew I was going to be filming this video, I went and picked up a few more products at the weekend. Some from the Pro Artist range, some from the normal range, so we've got a balance of products. It's very mixed. I wouldn't say that number 7 can be classed as affordable now. Some of the products can, some of the products are more mid-range. I would say the Pro Artist range is more mid-range and the usual range is more affordable, but still on the high end of affordable. All the products that I picked up, it wasn't cheap. I sort of gave a gasp thinking that it was going to be slightly more affordable than it was. So yeah, I took one for the team on this one, but fingers crossed, I like everything and all these products will be used again. First up, we got the Lights Camera Action Palette. This is from the Pro Artist range. You get 2 mattes, 2 shimmers, quite a lot of product in each of these pans. The pans themselves are quite large, 7.68 grams of product in total, or 0.25 ounces. And you also get a little application brush. It's double-ended, it's really ditzy and cute. You can be really precise with this, and I think it's a nice touch. This shade is a lot deeper than I would usually go for a transition shade, so I'm just being really quite tentative, picking up a very small amount of product so not to overload my brush and over-apply. Actually, that's really quite nice, so I'm just going to add a little bit more. I'm going to do something I very rarely do and pick up a tiny bit of the deeper shadow and just deepen that outer edge a little bit. I've got quite deep set eyes, so I tend not to do this very much anymore, but I just think these shadows lend themselves so beautifully to this sort of application. The mattes are really creamy. They're quite a wet, pressed shadow, which I don't usually like because I find that the wetter and the creamier the shadow, the more difficult they are to blend out. But actually these are superb and really, really easy to apply. Then let's keep it simple, taking this rose goldy shade, and I'm just going to use my finger and press that on my eyelid. Oh, wow. That's actually really quite special. I wasn't expecting this amount of colour payoff from this, and yeah, you get quite a lot. You do get quite a lot. That is really quite impressive. You don't get this sort of colour payoff from some really high-end palettes, so can I say it again? I was not expecting that. The consistency and the texture of this shadow is not creamy and soft like some really high payoff foils, so yeah, it took me by surprise, but it's a good surprise. Just going to take the little applicator and go into this champagne gold shade. It's a really nice light shade, so great for that inner corner, and I'm just going to brighten up that portion of the eyelid. That's really effective. I don't think I actually have an eyeshadow brush that will allow me to be this precise without my brush being a pencil brush, so this is definitely a great addition. Then let's dip into this deepest shade again and create a bit more definition in those lashes and on the outer edge. I might even create a bit of a wing. I really like this shade. It's deep enough that it allows me to create a little bit of drama, which I definitely want today, but it's not too deep that it looks harsh on my eye. It definitely doesn't look aggressive at all. I don't have a colour corrector from number 7, so I just used my own, the Huda Beauty Faux Filter Corrector in the shade Peach. Then gonna go into concealer. So this is the Lift and Illuminate Triple Action Serum Concealer. I have a feeling I've tried this before and I wasn't over-enthused, shall we say. I thought it was a perfectly nice concealer, but just not for me. However, my sort of needs and wants as I'm getting a little bit older and my skin is changing, especially underneath my eye area, have changed. So maybe I will really like this now and be overjoyed by it. I have no idea. This is in the shade Fair Light. So I'm going to apply it as I would any concealer, even though this is a serum concealer and slightly lighter in weight and texture than my usual favorite. But let's just lay this down and see how it melts into the skin before I apply even more. It's already adding coverage, but it's a really nice light coverage, and it feels really calming and cooling on my skin, a little bit more like skincare than makeup. I think I know why I didn't like this before. The coverage probably wasn't enough for me a few years ago. I probably wanted a little bit more out of it, but with the aid of a color corrector, as you can see, it's actually quite decent coverage. If the level of coverage looks a little strange later on, I might have to add a little bit more concealer, but we're gonna leave it there for now and move on to foundation. This is the No7 Radiance Plus Brightening Foundation. One of my faves, absolutely love it. I reviewed this not that long ago and was really, really impressed. This foundation is so versatile, so you can get really light coverage out of this if you want, but you can also build this up if you need a little bit more coverage on certain days. It blends out beautifully and it spreads so nicely as well, so even if you get a little bit too much on one side of the face, you can quite easily blend it and spread it across. This just gives you a lovely luminosity. It gives you that radiance with no sparkle whatsoever, and you know, I'm not into sparkle on my skin. It makes my pores and my texture more accentuated, and this doesn't do that. So just look. It's not airbrushing. It's not going to airbrush my skin like more of a natural matte foundation would, but if the shine is a little bit too much for you on first application, a little bit of powder will really dim that down a little bit. I'm going to dip into my Pro Artist Soft Glow Cream Bronzer. This is in the shade Light Glow, which is lovely. It is warm, but it's not orange, so I'm going to take a little bit of that on my Refa 33 brush, pop a little bit around the perimeter of my forehead, and I'm going to blend that out. It's not as easy to apply as a stick formula, which is my usual preference, but you know, it's totally manageable. Pop a little bit on the tops of the cheekbones where the sun would hit. I can blend that up. Tip of the chin, down the nose, just give me a bit of colour. This formula is so beautiful. It seriously is gorgeous. It gives you a lovely level of warmth without me being completely and utterly tangerine. So if you're into a cool tone bronzer, this is definitely not going to be for you, because the level of warmth, as you can see, it does have a nice bronzy glow to it. So if you don't want that, this is not going to be your jam. But I absolutely love it for those days where I just want to look a little more sun-kissed. It's not going to be one of those shades that is going to be great for a contour shade, because contour shades are usually more cool to emulate a shadow, and this definitely doesn't do that. But the formula is lush. Really creamy, really soft, just melts into the skin beautifully. I don't think I desperately need it, but I am going to pop a tiny bit more concealer just over my areas of darkness, just to brighten those up a little bit. Now, all the other products are in situ. Not taking it right underneath my lash line, just over the areas that I need it. Back into the eyeshadow palette, and I'm just going to connect the dots with that really nice light brown shade just on that outer edge to make everything look more complete, and then go into mascara. I always, always, always have time to curl my lashes. I actually thought I'd tried every single No7 mascara, which, by the way, there are so many more than I actually thought there were, but I don't think I've tried the 4D Lift and Curl, so we're gonna try that out today. I bought it in the deep brown shade. The reason I got this one is because I really like the wand. This is my sort of wand. It's what I'm really comfortable using. I always think that this type of wand really grabs every single individual lash, keeps everything separated and really fluttery whilst packing on the product. So usually with these sorts of wands, it doesn't take me 5 coats to get the look that I require. It's actually quite quick application. I'm gonna be straight with you. I've got a little bit of a crush on this mascara, to be honest. I just think it's absolutely beautiful and so easy to apply, and it's held the curl. Let's complete the lips and then we'll move on to blush, which is always my favorite part of any makeup look. It just, everything comes together with a bit of blush. The lip pencil I'm gonna be using is the No7 Pro Artist Precision Edit lip pencil. This is in the shade Rose Couture. They also do one in the shade Nude Chic, but this is absolutely beautiful. This is creamy, this is smooth, very easy to apply. It doesn't drag on the lips. There's no waxy residue at all. You can go over the same area multiple times and not get that build-up of darker colour in one section. Absolutely love this, and the shade is just beautiful. I actually bought one of these soft blur lip creams in the shade Peach Nude. Not quite sure it'll go with the lip liner, but let's give it a go. Not my usual shade that I would go for, but we're gonna give it a go. It's also not the normal consistency. I'm not really into a whipped consistency of a lip product. So it's not my favorite. It's not my favorite. It's not my favorite shade for a start either. It does feel creamy and smooth. It doesn't feel drying, but looks a little patchy and it looks a little dry. Can you see? We've also got this situation. I hate that. I absolutely despise when that happens to a lipstick. Trying to get this stuff off, it is not wanting to come off. So, I mean, for some people that might be a major positive. For me, I just want this product gone. How on earth am I gonna get this off? Look how dry my lips look. Oh no. Okay, so I have managed to remove the majority of it. There is still some clinging to patches of dryness, which I just can't get rid of. But I've relined my lips using the shade Rose Couture, which is why my lips look a little pinkier now. And I'm gonna go in with the Pro Artist Matte Muse in the shade Nude Chic. This is a new shade for me. I have got Rose Couture already, which I've tried on camera previously, but this looks a little light for me. Let's just see what it's like. Maybe not my colour. I'm not loving it, but I do love the formula of this lipstick though. It is matte, but it's not a heavy matte. It's not a powdery matte. It's not one of those mattes that really dehydrates the lips and makes your lips look really, really dry and flaky. As you can see, my lips are really dry and flaky, but this lipstick makes them look a little bit more hydrated, which I really, really like. So 100% prefer to the Soft Blur lip cream, which is a definite bust. In a previous video, I did say that I wasn't 100% happy with the No7 Pro Artist Luxe Liquid Blush. There is nothing wrong with this formula, it's just not my thing. This is a liquid to powder formula, and if it's gonna be a liquid or a cream, I want it to look like a liquid or a cream and have that really lovely luminosity that cream products and liquid products give to my skin, giving it that flush of just youthfulness and just a little bit more glow. You don't get that with this. Perfectly nice product, just not for me. So I thought I would try the No7 Velvet Cloud Blush in the shade Coral Kiss. I have used this before. I'm gonna go in with a flat brush and really pack this on. There we go. And then start applying direct to the cheek. This is once again one of those products that doesn't have masses of luminosity. It is quite a dry cream, but I actually really like this. It doesn't dry into a flat matte, which is more like the Pro Artist Luxe Liquid Blush. That's a little bit flatter for me. It does still give a little bit of life to the skin, but not masses. This gives more life. You can apply this with your fingertips, making it the perfect product for on the go. Just keep this in your handbag, touch up your makeup throughout the day. It's so easy to build, but it's not frightening. Now I've got blush on, this lipstick is looking more acceptable. I think I'm just going to change the lip liner, so give me one sec. It's amazing what a change in lip liner will do to a lipstick. This isn't from No7, it's actually from Revlon, and it's the Colorstay Longwear lip liner in the shade Nude 630, and definitely made a difference. Made my eyes sparkle a little bit more because now it looks like the lip line is more defined. My lips aren't blending into my skin tone anymore. Everything just looks a little bit better and more in keeping with this makeup look. Final steps, a little bit of powder just to make this makeup look last all day. It will last a really decent amount of time, but I also want to dim the sheen down on my skin in my oilier areas because my oils will come through this foundation throughout the day and make this look even shinier. So let's just give it a fighting chance. The powder that I'm using is the Pro Artist Set the Scene Loose Setting Powder. Honestly, this is one of the best powders I think I have ever tried. It is so luxurious, smooth, and creamy and soft. It melts into the skin. It doesn't look like a powder on the skin, and this is an affordable / mid-range product. You get a lot for your money as well. A lot. I wouldn't use this underneath my eyes. I have done that before and I wouldn't do it again, but it's not bad. It's just not as good as powders that are made specifically for the under eye area. And this just airbrushes absolutely everything I want it to airbrush. So what do you think of the final makeup look? What do you think of all of these products? I think No7 have pulled this out of the bag. I mean, they came from the dead. They have sprung back into life. I have no idea why I have had a massive break from No7, and then all of a sudden I turn around and they brought out all of these absolutely fantastic products, which are extremely luxurious and very high-end feeling, apart from, you know, the one fail, which we'll not talk about again in this video. But I think one fail out of so many is a triumph. I really hope you've enjoyed this video. I hope you found it useful in some way. Please don't forget to like and subscribe before you leave, and hope to see you all in the next video. Bye everyone.